A month ago, I bought my dream mic. Since then, I have recorded vocals, I have mixed songs, created content, and spent dozens of hours listening back to the recordings I have made. So was the upgrade worth it? Or was it just new equipment excitement? Let's find out. For the last month, I've been using the SE Gemini. And before that, I've been using the SE 2200. So why upgrade, you might ask? Well, this microphone has been with me through everything, through my whole musical career. I bought this microphone before I even knew how to mix. And I was making recordings, and to be fair, my voice sounded horrible. And it wasn't the microphone's fault, it was my fault, because I didn't know how to sing very well, plus I didn't know how to mix very well. So within the last 10 years, I have been working on all of these skills: singing, recording, mixing. And recently I reached this point where I wanted something more out of the microphone. And don't get me wrong, this is an incredible microphone, and if you don't have anything, you're just starting out, or even if you have been making music for a long time, this is a microphone worth having with you. It has incredible clarity, as I mentioned in my previous video, and I wanted to keep that. And I have been a huge SE Electronics fan for a very long time, so I decided that I should upgrade with the Gemini. And the reason why I decided with the Gemini is because it would still have the same quality that I love, but also it's going to have character and it's going to have warmth, which is something that I really wanted into my recordings without having to add it with plugins. Since I started using the Gemini, I feel like the quality of my vocals has changed completely, not just because of the microphone. When I'm recording, I have a vocal chain of a preamp, noise gate, auto-tune, and a compressor. And to be fair, I haven't really touched that chain since I set it up for the 2200. And that was about 4 years ago when I purchased my UAD interface. And what that meant was that I had this complacency that I wasn't really looking into the plugins more. I wasn't learning more about them. I wasn't trying to improve on that. So when I got the Gemini, I knew that I had to adjust them because I needed to make the most out of the sound of the Gemini. That led me into watching YouTube tutorials, reading online, getting the most information I can about this plugin, what it does, what every knob does specifically, how it would work compared to the frequency response of the Gemini. Through doing this, I learned a lot that I didn't before. And I genuinely don't know why I didn't put that effort 4 years ago. Just setting up the new settings on my recording chain has made a massive difference, even when I'm using the 2200. But when you combine it with a Gemini, that is something else. And the reason why the Gemini makes such a difference for me is because it's able to capture these little nuances and details of my voice, the little breaths, the little mouth sounds. And although that can be detrimental to the recording at times, which has been infuriating me, don't get me wrong, I really like my recordings to be clean as possible. I cut every breath in between sentences. I manually go into the recording and cut everything, fade every recording, just to make sure there's no breaths, mouth sounds, or anything in between the words I'm saying. And sometimes even when I'm singing, there's like, and some kind of like mouth sound I don't like. And yeah, that's really annoying me because I know it's there. And I tend to be very particular when it comes to mixing, that I just don't want any sounds like this. I just want the words as clear as possible. And yes, it can be good, it can be bad, but just the attention to detail that this microphone has is just incredible. It's blown me away. But what is more is that it has this warmth that I've really craved, and I've not been able to recreate with any other plugs that I'm using. And it's just one of those details I believed is going to help me level up my recordings and my music in general. And one more thing that is really, really important to me, and I've not seen anyone talk about it, and it's the feeling you get while you're performing into this microphone. Sometimes when you're performing into microphones, it can feel intimidating, it can feel nerve-wracking, but it can also feel exciting. Can also feel like just nice and positive. And with the 2200, it's always been a pleasure to record. I always knew that I can just rely on this microphone and I can just get into my feelings and just sing to my heart's content, come up with melodies, lyrics, whatever it is, and I can just focus on that while the microphone just does its job really, really well. And the thing is, it's gonna sound weird, it's gonna sound really, really weird, but with this microphone, I just get the feeling that I'm in this like old vintage studios. There's like just covered with equipment all over. And the reason why I get this feeling is because it has two tubes, right? And you need to warm them up. And the thing is, when you have the mic on, it just heats up. The whole thing is warm. When you touch even the capsule here, you can feel its warmth. And just this nice, pleasant warmth comes out of it, and it has like this specific smell I just really, really love. And it just brings me back to when I was at university. In one of the studios there, we had this mixing desk that was analog, and it just produced that like heat and smell. And like in the winter, I really loved working in that studio, because in the winter, everywhere else would be cold. In this room, be like really nice and pleasantly warm. And I'll just huddle up there for days, and then just like every single day I'll go there and record and make music. And it just brings me like such a positive vibe. And it's like being able to kind of like feel the warmth on my face and smell it while I am recording. It's just such a positive experience for me that this microphone has given me. And yeah, like I really like performing, gives me more confidence, just gives me overall positive energy while I'm recording. And it might sound silly to some of you, but to me that means a lot, and I'm really, really, really happy that I get to experience that. Now let's discuss the most valuable section of this video, and that is the real-world use. Personally for me, what changed since getting the Gemini is that I don't have to do as much processing as I did with the 2200. I mentioned earlier in the video that I did update my recording chain. That is the Neve 1073. I have CVox, Auto-Tune Pro, and then Distressor. So these are the 4 plugins that I'm using that get recorded onto the recording. I live by one rule, and that is you cannot polish about recording. And there's a different word for that. But yeah, that is why I put a really huge focus on getting the best recording possible. I like my vocals to be clean. I don't like over-processing them, especially the main vocal. So after recording, I tend to use EQ compression, de-essing, EQ compression, de-essing. And that would be, you have surgical EQ, you have a general broad EQ, you have 2 types of compression, and also just de-essing to make sure that like the plosives and the sibilants is cut, but it still sounds good and you don't lisping or anything. I like to play around with delays and reverbs with the vocals and pretty much all instruments, to be honest, just to give depth perception of the song. But generally, my main vocal I like to be as clean as possible. Sometimes I just give it a bit of reverb as well onto the main track, just to give it a bit of wetness. That's depending on the song and the style. I have not been able to try it on other artists, so the only person I have recorded with the Gemini is myself. So it's a bit more limiting on what I can discuss in terms of like using it with different musicians and different stuff. And also I've not recorded other instruments either. But when it comes to recording vocals, which is the one thing, kind of, yeah, just the only thing that I really wanted it for, to be honest. And all in all is having incredible results in what it's doing. And actually, scratch that, I have also recorded my fiance. So I have done male voice, which is my own, and then a female voice, which is my fiance. And she has a really like soft and tender voice, and that gets recorded really, really well as well. Now let's talk about the drawbacks of the microphone. And there are 3 very obvious ones. There are 3 very obvious ones if you've seen Inglourious Basterds. Yeah, first one is the size of this microphone. I mean, if you can just look at it compared to this microphone, you can see how bigger it is. And it is heavy. And to be fair, that doesn't really make much difference when you are recording, because it's sitting on a mic stand, and I would recommend getting a sturdy one. I had to buy a new mic stand when I bought this microphone, and the reason is that the previous one that I had is the same one as my new one, and which is really sturdy and reliable. I just pushed it once and it broke, so it wasn't very stable. And it was fine for the 2200 because I wasn't really moving it or anything, and it was standing straight. But just knowing I'm getting a much heavier mic, I did not want to risk that, especially kind of like knowing that it's a lot more expensive, which is another drawback, and that is the price of the microphone. It is a lot more premium price than the 2200. So to me, it was really important to get a new mic stand as well, just to make sure it's there. It's sturdy, and I know it's not going to fall by itself. You know, if I push it and it falls, that's my fault, you know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure it's protected and safe as much as possible. The next drawback is it needs power supply. So it's not, oh yeah, I'm just gonna grab this microphone on the go, as I was discussing with the 2200 in the previous video, where when I travel or go record other people, not in my home studio, I would grab this microphone just because, yeah, I can just put it in my backpack and it's chill. This microphone comes with a huge flight case, which is incredible. Keeps it safe, but yeah, just the power supply on its own is bigger than my Polo 20, you know what I mean? And also needs like about 15 to 30 minutes to warm up the tubes to get the most optimum recording out of it. So these are little details which, in my opinion, when I'm sitting in my own home studio and I'm working when it's convenient for me, I don't really have a problem with that. But it's not a portable, yeah, I'm just gonna grab it and go record somewhere else. Lastly, I have been discussing how much the clarity is such a good thing with this microphone, but also it can be a drawback. And the first reason why it can be a drawback is because it can reveal bedroom acoustics. So in this room that I have, it is fully treated. I have several panels all across every wall. I don't have the ceiling though, but I'm not really planning to do that, it's fine. Currently have 7 panels on the walls, plus I have a reflection shield onto the mic stand as well, which I was using before I even had a treated room. The reason why I bought the reflection shield was because when I was using this microphone many years ago, before I had a treated room, I just wanted something to kind of dampen the reflections of the walls because it would be just bare walls, you know. But since having the opportunity to build these panels and put them on the wall, it's completely changed the recording environment and also mixing environment as well. Apart from the bedroom acoustics, another drawback is a poor technique and a mouth noise. I did mention earlier in the video that it does capture mouth noises really well, so sometimes it can be nice when you want to give a little emotion, but it also can be really annoying when you don't want that mouth noise there. So all in all, it's a great microphone, and don't get me wrong, these drawbacks are not that major, but it's something worth keeping in mind. And yeah, I'm willing to live with that. And now to answer my question, did it really make a difference? Was it worth upgrading? In my opinion, yes, it was worth upgrading. And it's not because the Gemini is a better microphone, it is better for what I'm trying to achieve, which is a really important difference. Every microphone has its strengths and has its weaknesses, because as I just discussed, even the Gemini has weaknesses. But the strengths, in my opinion, are worth the drawbacks that it has. It has really nice depth, character and warmth that I've wanted for a very long time, and unfortunately the 2200 has not been able to provide. But where the 2200 wins, it's portable, it's simple, and the value for money is just incredible. The amount of equipment you get for the money that you spend on this microphone is just crazy to me. If you're already recording, and the question is, should you buy the Gemini? And the answer is, it depends. If you already have a really good microphone and you're recording vocals regularly, you have a premium vocal chain, and you appreciate a subtle movements, I'll say yes, buy it. It's worth the upgrade, definitely. And the reason why I say this is, like, you have a good microphone already, why should you buy a different good microphone? It's because you would appreciate what it offers, because you would be able to hear the difference. But the reason why you shouldn't buy it, if you're just starting out and your room isn't treated and your preamp and interface are not that good, that's when I would say don't buy it. You'd benefit more from using a microphone that you're using already and just investing into acoustic treatments or just getting a reflection shield, depending what your circumstances are. I couldn't build panels and I couldn't hang them on the walls when I was just renting in a shared flat or a shared house. When I managed to rent a whole flat or a whole house for myself and my fiance, then I was able to dedicate a space for it, and I knew that it's going to be more of a long-term solution rather than, you know, just living in a shared house and I don't know how long I'm going to be in that space. After a month of using this microphone, I can confidently say I do not regret buying it and upgrading from the 2200. It didn't magically transform my vocals and made them so much better, but it gave me exactly what I wanted when I was looking for: the warmth, the character, and the clarity that I've learned to love. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed this video and it's been informative. Let me know if I've missed anything, and if you want to know anything, because I can respond that into the comments. And you also help me improve my videos by knowing what I have missed in my reviews. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.